If there's one thing most of us do suffer from is this virus called control. We both know that most of the things that happen to us, we don't have control over it. We are living a life full of uncertainty, and that makes us to be people who live with anxiety, a lot of stress, and a lot of depression in it. And today we are talking about trusting God in times of uncertainty. And Tony here will share a story of his experience with uncertainty.
All right, so the story I have today is pretty much an experience that I'm currently undergoing. Well, to begin with, I'm grateful to God that through my posts, He was able to open an opportunity. And I remember I was crying about work, and now work came, and the workload has actually gotten really intense. And so this evening, we were having a conversation with Beverly, and she was concerned about my mental health and my state of living. Because at the end of the day, I just feel like it's all grown up most of my life. You know, I've not had friends. I've always been introverted, and I think I replaced real human connections and relationships with my computer because I spend like almost 90% of my time on my screen. And this has actually affected my relationships because sometimes I'm not even able to, sustain a conversation. I lose interest in conversations with people very quickly. I've more like isolated myself because number one, I overthink too much. Experiences in life, have made me feel like relationships are, some very huge work that I'm not able to put my all into. I think this comes as well because of the disappointments I've had to undergo in my life with my family. There's always been conflict, and so right now I tend to shy away from letting anybody close. So I'm normally this isolated person, and I don't know what God has planned, but then. This is a scenario of how in my uncertainty, I don't really know what God has planned. I don't know if He's gonna, bring or connect me to people. I don't know if if He's gonna help me with my isolated state and introduce people into my life who I'm able to interact with. But I'm just, trusting that, He'll do it when the time is right. And so yeah, it's one of those situations where you really don't have the answer. I really don't know what to do different, but then you just trust God to make things work out, So yes, there's that bit of things that I'm dealing with. I really don't want to talk much about it because it's a battle that I've not really resolved yet. But it's just an instance of trusting God in my uncertainty. That is my uncertainty.
Thank you for sharing. So this was day 6 with 21 days with Daniel, and I know most of us, our experience with uncertainty differs with different aspects of our life. And I want to pose this question to you: that which aspect of your life are you willing to trust God with, even though you don't know how the outcome is gonna come out? For Tony, is about relationship, friendships. He doesn't know how that's gonna come about, and he's trusting God that God will bring the right people, the right community to him. And that is something that if you try to force things, you're gonna burn like crazy. So it's always better to allow God to do things His way and bring people at the right time. So also to you, which aspect of your life are you trusting God for? Are you trusting God with? Remember that it is only God who turns our tests or trials into testimonies, and He turns our messes into a message, and He also turns our problems into purpose. So one thing I've learned in life, that everything that I've gone through, every pain I've gone through, it is not going to waste. It must pay me. If it is getting wiser, I have to get that. If it's taking advantage and giving me favor with what I've gone through, also or maybe being a light into someone's life because of the things I've gone through, but not allowing my pain just to go to waste like that. So ask yourself this question: where can you trust God? What can you trust God with the questions of how this is gonna happen, instead of trying to take full control over something that you don't have the full control over it. And thank you for tuning in. And this was day 6. See ya, day 7.
And God bless you and your families until we see each other again.